So it is currently July, and my reading goal for the year is 100 books, and I just hit 50, so I thought, why not do a halfway there, wrap up, see what I was reading kind of vlog. So this is it, and without any further ado, let's get into it. So first I'm going to start off with the ones that I have read this year so far that weren't, like, I don't have the physical copy of the book. And so the first one is Heart Shaped Box. This one is like a Hermione fan fiction kind of thing. It wasn't all that. It was short, and I mean, it was fine. I loved Hermione. I eat it up every time, but it just wasn't my cup of tea. I also read Killjoy before starting the Good Girls Guide to Murder series, but I don't have the physical copy of it. But I mean, it was just a good little like introduction into the world of that series. Let me see. I have my trusty little list here of all my books. Those are the, oh no, I lied. The other books that I have, like, I don't have the physical copy of, but I have read online are All the Young Dudes. I read the first one and the second one, but then I also read the first one in Sirius's point of view. And so, like, what can I even say about that? Like, All the Young Dudes is fantastical. Like, it is absolutely, it has my entire heart and soul. Like, I love the characters. I like being back in the world of Harry Potter. But yeah, so those are the ones that I have read so far this year that I do not have the physical copies of. And now I'm going to go through the ones that I do have the physical copies of. In no particular order, that is. So starting off, I have read 2 more of the Keepers books. I read Legacy and The Unlocked. Not much to say about them. The world is awesome. I love being back in it every time, and I like the characters so much. And then the Unlocked one was cool to see. Parts of it I didn't feel like were necessary because it's a lot of lists and charts and stuff about things that I already knew just from reading the other ones. But I liked the I like seeing Keith's point of view in like the little novella part of that. And then I like the recipes too. That's cool. My friend and I are actually going to make Malamalts tomorrow, so see how that goes. I have read Liar's Beach. This is just a quick, really short mystery. Nothing too special. Along for the Ride. This is my 3rd Sarah Dessen book that I read, and I just like her writing style. It's very easy to get through and easy to understand, and she just does a good job about making you like feel for the characters and like see emotions. So I almost am tempted to say that it's more character driven than plot driven in some of her books, but that was just a good summer read at the beach one. The Unhoneymooners. It was cute. I liked it. I enjoyed it a lot. I am a big Kiara Cass fan. I loved the selection. Those were one of the first few books that I had read, and they just helped me like fall in love with, I guess, kind of fantasy, but just reading in general. And so I read The Siren by her, and I really liked this. Her writing style is so not just easy to read, but it's immersive and it makes you feel for the characters, and just does a good way of like describing everything, but not in a way that is like overdoing it, you know. Wuthering Heights. Yes, it's a classic. Yes, I'm glad that I have this under my belt as being read. Did I love it? No. Did it make me really mad? Yeah. So I'm not going to talk too much about that one. As I've said before in my reading wrap-ups, I like to kind of compensate for the really long books that I read with some short ones just that I have read from my childhood that don't necessarily count as a book because they are so like elementary grade books, but with reading 800, 900 pages, I feel like it can cancel out. So the 2 that I had read were finishing this, the Once Upon a Time series, whatever After series. So I just read those two just as like quick get out of the way if I was doing something that I just needed something fast. I read this one towards the beginning of the year, Lady Rogue. I have not heard of anything about this one until I found it and read it. It's a fantasy, but it takes place in like the real world, and it's kind of like a Dracula kind of book. In a sense, like it's not actually Dracula, but he, in this world, he was a true being, and he's just like, his tale is throughout it, and he plays a significant part in the main plot of the story. Ugly Love. Was it ugly? Yes. Was it love? No. Okay, we're gonna be honest for a second. I was hesitant to read any Colleen Hoover books just because of how much she idolizes certain things and this and that and the other, and just her books in general. But I had this one, I got it at a little free library and thought, why not give it a chance? I liked it at first, and I liked the past parts of it, but once everything just started happening for like a convenient reason, not because it was real or anything, it turned me off. Like I didn't enjoy it. I will say though, despite everything being said against Colleen Hoover, there were a few books of hers that I really enjoyed. But put that aside, authors, in my mind, sometimes in this case, get separated from the actual book, you know? But of the movies, I am ashamed how long it took me to read this. But I got the Sprayed Edges edition, so I thought that was cool. It was really cute. I wouldn't say I'm very much like a romance girly. Like, romance is not my top choice in books to pick. But I do love rom-com movies, and this just felt like a big rom-com movie. Also, like, fake dating is my favorite trope, and that just, it gave me what I needed. Tricia Levasseur is another author that I read whenever I had just started getting into reading. Daughter of the Pirate King and Daughter of the Siren Queen are two of my favorite books in the fantasy genre. And so I picked up Blade of Secrets by her. I liked being back in her writing. The cover's beautiful, by the way. Just take a moment to appreciate. But I just didn't feel like it was the book, you know? It was good and all. I liked the characters, I liked the plot, I liked the storyline. But it wasn't a favorite, you know? Love and Luck. I know this is technically not the first one in the series, but I mean, it doesn't have to be read in any particular order. And it was cute, it was fine. But it left me like feeling unsatisfied, you know? Because I was going along thinking this was going to be cutesy little road trip romance kind of thing, and in the end they didn't even end up together, and it just kind of, it threw me for a loop. I liked the fact that it was like self-discovery kind of deal, but I also wanted more from it that I did not get. The Charmed List. This one I wanted it to be a fall book, and so I tried to read it last fall around Christmas time, or not Christmas time, around Halloween, and turns out it's summer. This one was really cute. This one was adorable. It's super short, fast-paced. It has magic in it, like witches and stuff, but not like, oh haha, we fly around on a broomstick, we put spells on you kind of thing. Like very cozy magic against like rival families. So it's kind of like, it's definitely enemies to lovers, which along with fake dating is another one of my personal favorites. So this one was really cute, and I definitely would recommend that. Let me get these ones in the right order. So these books it's a trilogy, and I honestly think that there's more than just 3, but these are the 3 that I have. And they're Kingdom Keepers. They're Disney ones, and I am a big Disney fan, and I love seeing like the behind the scenes workings of Disney a lot of times, and this just, it gave that. it's about a group of kids who like signed up to be holograms for like tour guidance people at the parks, but at night they switch over from like their real selves to their hologram selves, and they have to try to stop the bad guys, like the villains from the Disney movies, actually come to life and are like trying to take over the parks basically. But I mean, they're like middle grade books, but I liked just seeing Disney and it was cool. I started the Inheritance Games. I have read both of them. Again, these are another books that I am so embarrassed about how long it took me to read them. The Inheritance Games, I have had on my TBR probably for a good 2 years, and I just picked it up recently. But I love them, and I cannot wait to read the Final Gambit. They're really good. Like, I know there's a lot of controversial opinions on them, and I can see why, just because the writing style in some places can be a little wonky, slow, whatever. But I love it. The scenery, like, in my mind, I can picture myself in the Hawthorne Mansion, running around, finding all these clues, solving all these puzzles. And I really like all the dynamics of the brothers and how they each, like, are, like, each have their own kind of relationship with her. And yeah, so definitely read these ones. These ones were fantastic. Skyshade is the third book in the Lightlark series by Alex Astor, and beautiful covers, first off. They all are. And I just like seeing the story continue. I love Grimm and I love Oro, and it's really hard to pick which like team / side I'm on a lot of the times, but I get excited every time she releases a new book, and just to be back in this world and to finish or to like see where their adventure will take them. And at the point that I'm making this video, she had just released last week her next book that's coming out, so cannot wait to get my hands on that one. How the King of Elfame Learned to Hate Stories. This is just like a short novella, semi-picture book following the Cruel Prince trilogy. And I mean, I think I had said this in another reading book that I had done, that, I mean, it was good to be back in the world and to see the characters again, but it wasn't anything special. Night Country, this is the second book. It comes after The Hazelwood. This one was so much better than the first one. The first one I absolutely could not stand, needed to get rid of it. Almost didn't pick this one up for so long afterwards, but I did, and this one is a lot better than the first one. So if you read the first one and are like, no, it's not worth it picking up the second one, it's worth it picking up the second one. Starcrossed, this is a trilogy that is kind of Greek mythology, kind of gives Percy Jackson, because they're like demigod kind of deals. But I read the first one, Starcrossed, the second one, Dreamless, and I'm reading the third one right now, Goddess. But these ones are really good. They don't necessarily take place in spring, but to me they give like spring vibes, and I think they're really good. I had never heard anyone talk about them, but I'm so glad that I picked them up and have been reading them. A Study in Charlotte. This one was fantastic. I love Sherlock Holmes, and like any kind of spin-off of that, like Great Mouse Detective. I grew up on that and just fell in love with Sherlock Holmes and all the stories and adventures and mysteries and everything that goes along with him. And this is his great granddaughter, possibly, and the here it says it, the great granddaughter of Sherlock Holmes, and then the great grandson of Watson. They meet up together at the same school, and they have to solve a murder together. And it was so cool just how much they pulled from the original Sherlock Holmes stuff, and like the dynamic between Sherlock and Watson, and just all of the stuff. And I really enjoyed this one. I finished the Harry Potter series. Love of my life. Did I bawl my eyes out completely and utterly? Absolutely. Am I absolutely devastated that the series is over? Yes. But I'm so glad that I finally got around to reading them all and got to be in the Harry Potter universe in another way other than the movies like I had grown up on. So that is Order of the Phoenix, Half-Blood Prince, and Deathly Hallows that I read. They're just so good. Like, they literally feel like home to me every time that I look at them on my shelf or have anything to do with the Harry Potter universe. And, exciting fact, I'm going to go see The Cursed Child on Broadway with Tom Felton reprising his role as Draco Malfoy. So, round of applause for me, because dream come true, absolute mind blown. Moving on from that though, another Kiara Cass book, A Thousand Heartbeats. This one was cute. This is like forbidden love, kind of enemies to lovers. They both live in different kingdoms, and they really, like, the kingdoms are at war basically, and they just find a way to beat the odds. And I love a royalty kind of book, like ball gowns, castle, adventure. That's my kind of book, and that's everything that this was. Good Girls Go to Murder and Good Girl Bad Blood. Read these two, loved them both. Watched the show, loved it. About to read As Good as Dead. I love these books. Like, it just, not in the same sense as like Harry Potter, like something that completely like takes a part of your soul and like embeds it into you, but I love this. I love the characters. I love every time that I read them. I tabbed the butt ton out of them, but I just love these books. I love a good mystery and a strong female character who like doesn't need anyone to rescue her or protect her. I read two Natasha Preston ones. War D. Wow. My first ever my first ever Frida McFadden book was Neverlie. I love Neverlie. This topped it. Like, this is her best book that I have read by her. I cannot get this out of my mind. Like, this is semi a Roman Empire for me, just because of the amount of times that I am, like, I catch myself thinking about it. And then The Housemaid. Don't come for me, but I feel like it's overhyped. It was good, yes. I enjoyed it, but compared to War D and Neverlie, it just didn't hit the way that those ones did. I mean, it was good and all. I enjoyed it, but the plot twist was very predictable and just happened so far in front of the book, it didn't seem like I had anything to look forward to for like the second half of the book. But I mean, it was good. It just wasn't the best book. Dating and Dragons. This one is not really sequel to, but goes along with Dungeons and Drama, which is this one that I read last year. But this one, it's just so cute. Like, I know it probably gets a lot of hate just because of the premises of it being like Dungeons and Dragons and whatever, but it was so cute and it was adorable, and it very much explores like finding yourself, finding your people, how to like come out of your shell and truly be you. And it was so cute. I know I said I'm not like a romance person, but little cute rom-com-y kind of books, they're so comforting, you know? This is my first ever Agatha Christie book that I read. It's And Then There Were None. I did not expect this at all. I think I read this in one sitting. It was really good. Murder House, James Patterson. I don't even know what to say about this one, because it wasn't even that it was like so absolutely mind-blowing, or it wasn't even like, oh, the plot twist is like a whole world turned upside down or anything, but just the way that he was able to drag me along the entire time and keep me hooked, and I was just invested the entire time that I read this, and I just did not want to put it down. I reread this year We Were Liars. So much better reading it the second time than the first. The show, if you have not watched it, oh my goodness, go watch it. It is fantastic. It is amazing, and I love the representation from the book to the show. Even though there's a lot of things in it that weren't included in the movie, or a lot of things in the show that weren't from the book, it fit in so well, and I loved seeing this book come to life. And then following that, I read Family of Liars, which you by no means need to read We Were Liars no, you by no means need to read this after that to get the full story, but you do need to read We Were Liars before this one, otherwise you will be confused about parts. And this one was good, but I don't think it was as good as We Were Liars just because of the extremeness of what happened in We Were Liars didn't compare to this one. Okay, almost done. Now I got a little pile. Sunkissed, literally Dirty Dancing. I am obsessed with Dirty Dancing, and this gave me that. So if you like Dirty Dancing and you want to go back into that, just make it singing instead of dancing, this book right here. The Party, Natasha Preston, honestly might be, love her. Like, she's an instant buy author for me. I'm working on collecting all of her books. And not that, this book was really good. Let me just start off by saying that. But I think out of the books that I have read from her, it might be one of my least favorites out of the ones that I have read. You know, like, it was really good. I liked it taking place in a castle and everything happening like so close together. But it just, I don't know if it was when I read it, how I read it, or if it was the actual book, but it just wasn't as good as the other ones that I had read by her. Wildfire, Hannah Grace. It follows the Icebreaker book. It was really cute. Like, Icebreaker definitely had different vibes in this one because it focused more on like the sports aspect of it and the college atmosphere. This one took place at a summer camp, and I've never gotten the chance to go to like a cabin in the woods type summer camp or even be a counselor, even though I want to. And this just kind of filled that hole for me. It was cute. I know I said really a lot, I apologize. Okay, 3 more books and then we're done. You Will Be Mine, another Natasha Preston. Wow. This one was really good, really fast paced. I read this one in the summer. Probably should have waited to read it more wintry because it does take place, it's more of a Valentine's Day book. But wow. Do not flip ahead if you read this. I beg of you. I did, and I spoiled it for myself so bad. I have never spoiled a book for myself, and I did the first time with this, and I was kicking myself the entire rest of the book. So don't flip forward. Don't flip forward. But really good. A Court of Thorns and Roses, ACOTAR, if you will. First book in the series, and the only one that I've read so far. I have the other ones. I just was not in the right mood to read it. I loved it. I loved the world and everything, but I was not in the right mood, so I'm going to reread this one in the winter because it gives wintry to me. And then I'm going to read the rest of the series. But it was really good, and I'm so glad that I'm finally starting to read this series. And then last, but by no means at all the least, All Good People Here. I don't even know what to say with this one because it was just so, like, I'm actually speechless trying to think of the words for it. I mean, the entire time that you're following it, you're like, ooh, suspenseful. Okay, it's this person. Oh wait, no, it's not. It's the other person. The entire time you're just like, okay, who in the world is this? Why is all this happening? What is going on? How is everything connected? And then you get to the end. Oh my goodness. I was reading this with my friend, and she could testify. The reactions that I was having to the end of this were absolutely insane. When I was done, like, I literally couldn't do anything. I sat and I stared at the wall for a good half hour after reading this, just because I had to process everything that had happened. Like, I've read a whole lot of mystery that I really like and that really surprised me and totally flipped my world upside down and everything. But this did all of that and more in such a different way. Like, the ending was absolutely insane on this. But anyway, that is 50 books that I have read this year so far, and hopefully I can read 50 more before next year. But yeah, that's all I got for you. So thank you for watching. Appreciate you. Mwah.